My name is Tim Sanders, and I'm here today to share one idea that just may improve your relationship life. The idea is simple. You've got to get rid of scarcity thinking in your life. I believe the root of most of the negative behavior we exhibit is a function of scarcity thinking. In other words, somewhere in our psyche, the following dialogue starts when times get tough. We say to ourselves, there's not enough to go around. Maybe someday we're shopping at the grocery store and we get angry at someone else who takes our parking space. We're not being bad people. We just experience a scarcity of parking spaces. So what do? We honk, we shake our fist, and for a minute we're an animal, a competitor instead of a cooperator. This really happens to us in our work life. When we go to work and we think there's not enough customers to go around, we spend our time hating our competitors. When we think there's not enough respect and recognition to go around, either at work or even in our family life, we will turn on the very people we depend on. Because what scarcity thinking does is it challenges us, makes us primal, and makes us fight for the scraps that remain. I believe that what scarcity thinking converts in our mind is it converts the size of the pie of life. When I see people that believe there's not enough to go around, I see people that behave like Chicken Little, as if the sky was falling. They spend most of their life dutifully reporting to everyone else that the sky is falling, and what they create is the feeling in everybody else's life that scarcity must be true. When you believe the pie of life is fixed, and when someone else succeeds, you've just lost, it completely changes your ability to cheer for other people, to create solid relationships, and to be happy when other people achieve success. I think the solution here is to begin to restore your feeling of abundance. In other words, what you've got to reprogram yourself to believe is that really there is enough to go around. With ideas, with imagination, anything is possible. This is the spirit of faith. This is the spirit of hope. When you begin to reprogram yourself that there's enough to go around, you'll find yourself really happy at other people's success. You'll find yourself focusing on what's important, your family, your customer, your team. There's two different ways you can do this. The first way you can do it is to sit down tomorrow morning and write down 3 things that are abundant in your life that you're grateful for. If you really try hard, you'll find them. And what you'll notice about them is they're intangible. The more you give them away, the more they grow. And that's the spirit of abundance. The last thing I would suggest you do is if you feel like you've come down with that disease of scarcity and all you focus on is what you lack, tomorrow, give something away. In my favorite book of all time for sales folk, I call it the best book ever written for sales. It's Og Mandino's book, The Greatest Salesman in the World. A piece of advice given in the parable to the young salesperson was simple. First things first, you give away 20% of everything you make to charity. When he asked why to the great master, it was simple, because you learn something by giving. When you go out tomorrow and you give your time and your effort and your money until it hurts, what you're teaching yourself is that really there is enough to go around. And that is the spirit of charity.